We absolutely loved Elden Ring. You've probably seen a ton of content on the channel, from guides to builds to lore and more. Well, we definitely couldn't get enough of the game around the time it launched, if you couldn't guess, but one thing that will definitely get us hooked back into Elden Ring is definitely a new DLC, so we can jump in and experience something new and challenging once again. So in this one, let's go over the new Elden Ring rumors so you guys know what people are talking about and guessing will be the next big thing for Elden Ring. Definitely click like down below to show support for the video because it really does help us, and subscribe and click the bell because we have so much content planned every single day that you don't want to miss. Myself and the other guys are debating lately on which is the coolest weapon in Elden Ring. I think it's an impossible choice because there are so many cool weapon options, but I will ask it to you guys in the comments to be the tiebreaker. What is the coolest of all the weapons in Elden Ring? Tell us in the comments down below. First thing is first though, these are rumors and estimates from a variety of evidence and speculation within the community, so nothing here is guaranteed because FromSoftware have been very quiet and reluctant to release any official information about the upcoming DLC. So my expectations are tempered, but some things do seem to be pretty compelling. Let's jump into it with a known modder and data miner called Sekiro Doobie, at least I think that's how you say his name, who has found some new and interesting text and different things within the game files after the latest patch that was added to the game, which suggests that this DLC that could be coming up may or may not contain a substantial PvP mode. There's been 4 parameters and 4 new text banners that were found within the actual game files, which also matches unused text from version 1.0 of the game. The banners say, "Begin match, you win, draw, you lose." These new banners, combined with a bunch of PvP exclusive balance adjustments within the recent patch, suggest a possible new PvP mode, with people speculating that it's going to be linked to the unused Coliseums that are spread around the map. People are thinking it could be a gauntlet style game mode. We aren't sure if this is purely a 1 versus 1 mode or will include a larger number of players. Furthermore, files were tagged with names such as DLC 01 and have mentions of M61_Arena_026. Some are guessing that a small update may release first, followed by a much larger amount of content released shortly after. Essentially, new Colosseum map files, assets, and textures have been found, which definitely piques our interest as to a PvP-based DLC. The thing is though, the game released roughly 7 months ago, and if we look at previous FromSoftware games, their release dates compared to their first DLC release dates, we can actually see a bit of a pattern, and it does somewhat support the ideas that a DLC is imminent. Dark Souls 3 had its first DLC released 7 months after launch, which is more or less where we are now for Elden Ring. Bloodborne was 8 months, which again will be in a month's time, which is lining up once again. Dark Souls 2 was only 3 months, while Dark Souls 1 was 11 months, so a bit spread out there. But with these rough time frames, we're definitely sitting in a sweet spot for a new DLC to release for Elden Ring soon, unless you look at Sekiro, which took 1 year and 7 months for its first DLC. So it's by no means a perfect timeline to go off, but I would say that the next few months are definitely a reasonable estimate for assuming that DLC will be launching soon, if at all. So basically, many people have guessed that the Coliseums are linked to something, as they are these huge iconic buildings spread all around the map with no functionality. You can find them in Limgrave, Caelid, and Lindell, but literally they cannot be accessed without mods or cheats. They're properly locked off at the moment. However, some players have modded their way inside of these Coliseums and have found that it's actually set up somewhat like an arena that could be used, which further promotes the idea that they could be used as an arena in this PvP DLC that people are speculating. However, there are other possibilities that the DLC could focus on or reveal. One such theory is the Divine Towers. They conveniently create a ring around a strange cloud on the map that you definitely will have noticed if you played the game. So many are speculating a new island or hidden area is here, which the DLC will reveal. This is slightly further backed up by the latest patch, having some subtle changes to the Divine Towers themselves. Another theory is that Miquella's egg, who is Melania's brother, as well as a pivotal character within the lore of Elden Ring, may be linked to the DLC. You may have actually seen him in-game, trapped within an egg in Mohg's boss arena, and some people think he will awaken for a DLC. One more interesting theory is that we might go back in time to when Marika was chosen by the Greater Will and was starting to take over the Lands Between. It would mean seeing and interacting with massively important characters from the world building of Elden Ring while they were younger, and some of them still alive. While it's really cool sounding, I personally feel like this is the least likely, but I would love to see it nonetheless if it could happen. Here's another another tweet from Sekiro Subi, which sums up the latest datamine news, where they say, to sum it up, new hair for DLC, new map files from audio banks M20 and M45 with no more info on this, new Coliseum map files, assets, textures, the textures don't work due to lack of DLC files, lots of subtle map changes like at most Divine Towers, and more doors to be opened still. So comment your DLC theories down below, or tell us which of these that you think is most likely to happen. And do click like as well as subscribe, because we have so much content planned for you guys that you don't want to miss out on. And the two videos on screen now we think you might really enjoy if you did find this one interesting or thought-provoking. So if you found something new in this video, you'll probably enjoy the two videos on screen now. You don't have to click, but if you do, tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.